Hello children, welcome to another Cornerstone Assembly. It's great to be with you today. My name is Matthew, and I promise you Beth, she's on her way somewhere, and we've got a really exciting assembly for you today because it's all about St. David's Day, where we're celebrating St. David, the patron saint of Wales.
Oh Beth, sorry I'm late, Matt. Hi children, how are you? Happy David's Day. Hello to all you Davids out there. Hope you're having a brilliant day. Isn't it exciting, Matt?
Yeah, Beth, what
I've been doing is I've researched a load of Davids, all the famous ones, to tell the boys and girls about. So for example, did you know David Attenborough, he's 95 years old and he's made over 100 documentaries all about the planet and the environment and different animals, and he's even been knighted by the Queen.
Wow, that's amazing. But Beth, I think
and
you might
also, there's David Walliams. Have you heard of him, children? Now, he has written over 20 children's books, and for charity ones, he swam all the way from England, all the way to France.
Well, Beth, that's fantastic.
And there's one more, actually. David Tennant. Have you heard of him before? He is an actor from Scotland, and he actually played Doctor Who, and he did it for 5 whole years. Isn't that interesting?
Beth, those are some amazing facts. But I think boys and girls will know they've got a little bit confused. We're not actually celebrating David's Day. It's St. David's Day. St. David, the patron saint of Wales.
Oh, I haven't got any research on him yet.
Ah.
Tell you what, why don't you give me a minute, boys and girls? I'll be back in a sec. I'll do some research and then maybe we could tell the children all about St. David.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back and I've done my research. So, would you like to find out a little bit about St. David and his life? Okay, so St. David was born around the year 500, so it's a really long time ago, and he lived in Wales and he travelled all across Wales helping all the Welsh people. Do you know, he even had a church down the road in Swansea, in Llangollen, and you can still see the remains of it today.
Wow. And David, he was a rescuer, and he was a real hero in Wales. And one time, there was this big, long battle between the Welsh and the Saxons, who were invading their lands and stealing their crops and taking everything away with them. And it was really long and it was really hard. And one night, David went up to encourage the troops and to see how they were getting on. And one of the things they said they were finding hard was because the fields were so muddy and everyone was so covered in mud, they couldn't tell who was on their side and who were the Saxons on the other side. And so David had an idea. And he went out into the fields and he saw all the leeks growing on the ground. And so he said to the Welsh soldiers, why don't you pick a leek and put it in your hat, and then when you go out to the battle, you'll know who's on your side because they'll have leeks in their hats. So that's what all the Welsh soldiers did. They went out and they picked the leeks and they put them in their hats. And the next day when the Saxons came, the Welsh, they won the battle and they managed to defend their lands and all the Saxons ran away. And so David was a great hero that day.
That's amazing. That's why we're leeks now.
It
St.
is.
David's Day. Amazing. Not only that, but David would go around Wales telling people all about God's love and how much God cared for people. And sometimes if people were in trouble or they were unwell, they would go to David and he would pray for them. And when he did, God would answer his prayers and he would heal them. And it was really amazing. Like there was this one time that David's friend, Paulinus, he was getting old and his eyesight was starting to fade. And then one day he woke up and he couldn't see anything anymore and he was really upset about it. So David prayed for him and he asked God to make his eyes better. And when he did, he opened his eyes and he could see again. It was a really amazing miracle.
Wow. And David became famous all over Wales for telling people and sharing the news about how God loves us so much that he sent his son Jesus into the world. And Jesus at Easter time, he died on the cross, and 3 days later, he came back to life again. And David would explain how Jesus did that so we could be forgiven for the things that we've done wrong, and that if we ask God to be our friend, he says yes, because God loves to be our friend. And Jesus is alive now in heaven. He always hears us when we talk to him, and he always says yes when we ask him to be our friend.
Amazing. And St. David, we celebrate it on the 1st of March because that was the day that he died. And he had some famous last words before that happened, and they were this: be joyful, keep the faith, and do the little things that you have seen me do. But he might have said it in Welsh, so the last bit would have been Gwnewch y pethau bychan.
Diane.
Diolch. And so those little things, he was encouraging the people listening to him to do small things that make a difference in people's lives, to show kindness or be caring towards someone, and we can all do that even today. And that was important to David because he wanted everybody to see that they were important and that they were loved by God. And he wanted everyone to experience the love that God has for them.
Wow, amazing. So David was pretty amazing.
Yeah, no wonder he's got his own day.
Yeah. So what do you think, Beth? To celebrate St. David's Day and all things Welsh, shall we do a St. David's Day quiz?
Brilliant. Sounds like a great idea.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we go, our St. David's Day quiz. Let's see how many things that you know. Beth, you got question number 1?
Yes, so question number 1 is, which of these flowers is the national flower of Wales? Is it A, a rose, B, a tulip, or C, a daffodil? So, do you want to put your hands up for which one? Hands up if you think it's A. Okay, and hands up if you think it's B, tulip, or C, a daffodil? Shall we have a look? It is, of course, a daffodil.
Well done.
If you said that.
Well done. Okay, here we go. Question number 2. What vegetable did the Welsh soldiers wear in the battle against the Saxons? Was it A, leeks? Was it B, carrots? Or was it C, potatoes? So let's see what you think. Hands up for A, leeks. Okay. Any for B, carrots? Any for C, potatoes? Well, let's see if you're right. It is, of course, A for leeks.
Well done. Brilliant.
Of course it is.
Okay, so our next one, this is a picture question. So have a look at this picture. Now, who do you think this rugby player is? Is it A, Alan Wynne-Jones, B, Dan Biggar, or C, Louis Rees-Zammit? Okay, hands up if you think it's A. Hands up for B. And hands up for C. Shall we have a little look? Okay, let's see if you're right. It is B, Dan Biggar.
A legend.
Well done, the captain of Wales this year.
Yeah, he is. He's doing well. Okay, here we go. Question number 4. How many people, approximately, live in Wales? Do you think it's A, 1 million people, B, 3 million people, or C, 5 million people? So, hands up for 1 million. Hands up for 3 million, and hands up for 5 million. Okay, what do you think, Beth? How many millions?
Oh, a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Should we see the answer? It is 3 million.
Oh,
B.
well done if you said that. That's a tricky one.
Well done.
Okay, we've got one question left then, okay? So are you ready? So question number 5 is, what were St. David's famous last words? Were they A, don't do anything, B, do the massive things, or C, do the little things?
Interesting.
Tricky. Okay, so hands up if you think it's A, don't do anything. Okay, B, do the massive things, or C, do the little things. Okay, let's have a look at the answer, see if you're right. It is, of course, C, do the little things. Well done if you got that right.
Well done. Well, I hope you enjoyed our assembly and celebrating St. David's Day this week.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
We'll see you again very soon.
Bye.
Bye.